Have you ever wondered what goes into your favorite brand's digital marketing strategy? I'm Tara, the founder of TJ Creative Agency.
And I'm Audrey, the Creative Marketing Director of TJ Creative Agency. Whether you're an influencer, a business owner, a content creator, or just an overall creative person, we'll teach you how to create the perfect social media strategy and build your brand online. Kelly, thank you for being on the podcast. If you can kind of give us a little rundown, like who are you in your own words? Just kind of explain who you are.
Yes, I am Kelly. I work for Dr. Patel. He's a cosmetic dentist here in Austin, Texas. And I was his assistant for like 10 to 12 years. And then I kind of transitioned because I always was doing like the consults and doing the social and everything. And it kind of built up and grew to where I was able to transition from just being his dental assistant and kind of everything to just doing like social media and doing like the virtual consults.
I feel like you are like the practice manager.
Yeah. Well, kind of. I kind of do a little bit of everything. I don't feel like I have a title. I think that was the hardest thing when we were working with
You
people.
feel a little bit like the me of
like
dental's office.
People are like, what is your title? You're like if you have to fill out something and say, what is your
like,
occupation? You're like
marketing director. I'm like making it up every time.
That would be a good one.
It's seriously
marketing director.
That's my new title.
Basically.
I'm
There
the
you go.
marketing director of Austin Cosmetics.
There you go.
But I do smile design too. So I do a lot of like the smile design and the aesthetics in the practice as well.
So I kind of want to talk about how you two know each other because that's obviously
why you're here.
And I was trying to think, it's been, because it was way before the pandemic, but what year was it that you started?
2019.
So yeah. So it was just downsized to a couple people in our office, and I was doing like assisting and doing the social media, which I was posting like all the time, like between patients, whatever, just like filming, like taking gloves off in the middle of procedures and filming, just getting as much content as I could. And then we were like, you know what, we should start going to plastic surgeons and like hooking up with them because they're dealing with aesthetics and we're doing smile makeovers and it goes hand in hand. And so we walked into Johnny Franco's office and Tara was his social media manager at that time. And she just started like filming us and we were like, what the hell is this? Like, this is
You're
awkward.
like, who is this girl? Why
so
is
awkward?
her
She,
face,
you know, immediately walk in and she's like filming you and we're like, okay, that's odd. But we're like got our information and then gave her some damn donuts and left. And then I talked to Dr. Patel and I was like, this is a lot. Like assisting, working on patients, doing treatment coordinating and running the social.
Like we need someone to do.
I think we're at the point, like we were like 8,000, I think. I'm like, we were getting feedback from people like, oh my God, who's doing your media? Who's doing this? Who's doing that?
Yeah.
And it was just consistency because a lot of dentists don't do it. And so then I was like, we found this girl. I don't know if she's down for it, but can you reach out to her?
Yeah.
Like, even if it's once a week to have someone like do the content and put it out so I can take it off my plate. It would be amazing.
I am interested, like what made you, because obviously you realized social media was important before Tara because you were doing it. And that like doesn't feel very common within dentistry, within like aesthetics. So when did you kind of have a realization moment of like, we need to be on social media? Like this is something that we have to do.
I think it was more so when we started seeing more video content on Instagram because TikTok was really introduced by Tara. Like we weren't doing TikTok yet until Tara came on board,
which is wild because that's like your biggest platform.
Which is our biggest platform because it like blew up, but we were already videoing so much.
Right.
And then just trying to get patients comfortable with sharing their stories. Cause that's the biggest thing is now we don't have to, cause everybody's used to sharing their story. But before it was like, really like, can we share this?
I want to jump on that a little bit. Like, how did you get people comfortable on camera? Because I kind of feel like teeth were a little bit of a taboo thing. I kind of think like nobody was really like, I have fake teeth, but now it's like popular and no one cares.
Like Botox.
But like now it's normal. But how did you get people to tell their story on camera and like convince both of you guys? How were you able to do that?
I think we just filmed them.
We started just filming mouths, like only like their mouths. And then people would see like their transformation. And first they would say, I'm not sharing anything.
Right.
And then I would be like, but let me show you what you look like side by side, literally look how young you look, and building them up. And then they were like, really like, I don't care, share it.
They're like, this is amazing.
They just were like, such a glow up, I guess, in a sense where they were just like so happy to like be like, I came so far. I went from like covering my mouth every time I spoke or laughed to being like, I look good, and they come in like dressed better. They come in like with their hair
They
done.
just carry themselves
You literally
differently.
see like their confidence change.
Yeah.
It's such a confidence booster.
It
So
really is.
I think it was just like constantly people just got used to seeing.
And that's
so
what I
much.
did. Like that was the process with Franco. Like
It's hard.
you just once they start to see it on social, I feel like they expect.
Well,
it.
we've said too a million times that like half of our job as social media managers is just hyping people up.
Yeah.
So it's like
It's
it's,
just like-
kind of
the hardest job is getting the freaking staff on board.
That's the hard.
Yeah.
part.
I
okay.
was already on board.
That's why.
That's why
it's the freaking staff.
That's
They
why we
don't
wanted
wanna
to
do
have
anything.
you on. That's literally why we want to have you on,
It's the
because
staff.
you guys have such a good relationship. And we've talked about, Tara and I have talked about this so many times. There's a fine line between like working with a client who oversteps and micromanages every creative decision you make. And then there's, you know, the clients who like don't care, or there's the clients who are excited and want to contribute, like but they don't overstep that boundary. So how have you guys been able to find like where that boundary is, where you're not overstepping, but you, Tara, are still taking in consideration from
I feel like it's
your
a
team?
collaboration,
sure.
you know,
It is.
like it's just a lot of back and forth and ideas. And Kelly sends me sounds all hours of the night, you know?
Yeah.
And
I
then,
travel.
And that's probably why it works, because you're up at all hours of the night also sending texts.
Well, because I come from Dallas, so I'm in a hotel 2 nights a week.
Yeah.
So literally, I just go home after work.
You're like,
she's
what
like,
else do I
this
have to do?
sound,
I'm
this
just
sound, this sound.
on
Yeah.
TikTok.
And trends, like if you're not on top of it, that trend's gone
Yeah.
by the end of the week. So it's like, Tara, we have to do this one tomorrow.
Yeah,
we
I
have to do
film
this
this
one.
one.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. And then I think it really is a staff. Like if they're not comfortable filming and being on camera, they don't have to, but they can take a freaking phone and film what the doctor's doing and just get 10-second videos all day long.
You do have to get the whole staff on board, or at least a handful of people who are willing to, you know, get content
Participate,
and be a part of it. Was there ever a moment like when you first came on where you guys didn't have like a good working relationship? Like,
I think, Kelly
was it like hard
scared
at
the
first?
shit out of me.
Do it really?
You did. Yeah.
When?
In the beginning.
Oh, I think in the beginning it's awkward when you do have somebody come in your office and you're very like, you're almost like protective of your patients in a sense.
Right.
And so at first, like it was different when I'm in the room and I'm camera because I'm already there with the patient.
Right.
And then I have someone else come in the room. So then you had to, like now I really don't care.
Yeah.
But in the beginning we were really like, she doesn't want to come in the room. Like we had to like make sure the patients were okay.
Yeah.
Until it got so big where like you have 2.8 million followers, everyone knows they're coming in and they're going to get filmed.
Right.
And so now they tell me I don't want to be on camera. I don't even have to ask because everyone expects it
that
now.
they're going to be on. Right.
So when Tara walks in the room, it's not as awkward as it was in the beginning. And we were dealing with COVID a lot. Like during 2020, it was COVID. So we had to like really be careful about masks and stuff like that. So I think, yeah. And then when I was assisting Anne there, it was a little bit different. But now I'm like not assisting. So it's a lot easier to be like, I'm doing a post-op. Hey, this patient, let's film it. Let's do this. And
I think we just were able to find a groove of like our content creation process.
I was going to say,
today.
I think you saying you were scared will resonate with a lot of people, because going in as a social media, going into an office where you don't know anybody and you say, hey, can I stick a camera in your face? Do you mind? How were you, Tara, able to like kind of even overcome that fear and like get comfortable with everybody in the office?
I prayed on my way there.
really?
I know that's cheesy, but I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Because I had filmed surgery for so long and I didn't really know dentistry. And that's another thing, like going into a client that you're not really
That you don't know
with,
their industry.
You don't know the industry. I'm like, okay, I knew nothing about this.
Yeah.
But my strategy going in was I'm going to do what I do at the surgeon's office, which is I'm going to film every step. And so I was like, okay, he's like, so what are we doing? I'm like, so tell me what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, and then through that actually is how I was able to learn.
Yeah.
You know, oh, that's etching and that like.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think we really tried to spend a lot of times telling her because we didn't want her to write the captions wrong. Like she's posting something.
Right.
We're like, well, that's not what that is. So I think it was almost like someone has to be willing to train you.
Right.
Like in the office.
And it's huge that you guys already saw the value in social media, because there's nothing worse than going into an office and trying to convince them that you're like worth having there.
God.
You know what I mean?
I don't even know what we
100%.
do without social media at this point. Like our practice is like 90% social media driven. Like I haven't ran Google ads and SEO in like since 2017 or so. Like everything comes from social media. So I don't realize why people are so reluctant to do it and not stick with it because it's free.
Literally.
It's literally, I mean, you're paying, you get to a point where you're paying someone now, but you start with maybe not paying someone and working up to a point where you're going to bring someone on.
So to all of the social media managers listening to this, clip that and send it to your clients. Let them know.
It's so true though. I just don't understand. It's like a few minutes out of your day to like collect information. Because if you're transparent and the patients see everything you do in the office, they see the pricing, they see the process, it makes my job easier because they already know how things are going. They already know what they like. They already know your work. They see everything. It's like going to get a nose job.
That's another thing. Okay, that kind of segues into like you guys have a really easy sign up kind of process, which I think you were one of our first clients that had that. And we've tried to make all of our clients do that
They
because
have to.
we've said so many times, like we as your social media managers can only bring them to your site. If your site is a mess, if you don't have an easy way to book, if you don't have an easy way to buy, we did our job. Like that's on you.
Yeah.
So how has that been like crucial? Do you think that you would have had nearly as many?
No, I think
the streamlined
kicked
process
her out of my DMs. Like
Yeah,
I was
she
like,
did.
let me answer these.
Yeah.
Like I know what to say to people to like get them like on the right path to see if they're like ready because she can answer. I love the comments. Like answer the comments all you want all day long. Like I don't have time to do that stuff. But the DMs, especially on Instagram, it's so hard on TikTok when you have so many followers.
Yeah.
But on the DMs, I push everyone to Instagram because I can like answer them while I'm at home, like all day long, just be on top of it, and then making like the responses easy. Like
that was another thing she did.
Yeah.
So she's made a like you can create responses in Instagram.
Yeah.
Right.
She has. That was one of the first things
Like
she
the
did.
automated.
The automated,
Yeah.
and so it's just very easy for
so
her.
it's not so like
Time consuming.
Yeah,
you're not, like,
but it's also like
individually.
hello. Like I might say something before I send it, so they don't think it's just like a bot.
Like a bot, right.
Yeah, so I'll do that. But then also, I created like a link. We created the link. We used to use Linktree, but now I had my website designer. Shout out to
Justin.
He created like a page for me, a landing page, which is just like a landing page of my website, but it's my consult website. So then I didn't want to do like. There's other companies that do like virtual consults and stuff like that. And I didn't want to go through those. So I created my own form with him where they upload pictures. So, I mean, I can see within like 10 minutes if you're a candidate or not. If you're telling me you want to change your smile and you only want to do 2 teeth, oh, you're not a candidate.
Yeah, that's the huge part I think that you guys have done so well is that online consultation because I tell people all the time, I'm like, if you put a phone number, if you say call us, people aren't going to call you.
I'm not
That's
calling
too much work. Or you say fill out this form. They're not going to do that. Like make it so easy for them.
Yeah.
Do you think by having that consultation page, like you got more, like leads. The numbers? Yeah, you got more leads.
Yes, I have got more leads. I mean, literally, like my leads are like insane. Sometimes we get 250, 300, 400 consult requests.
Yeah.
When we have something go viral, we get
A ton.
Yeah.
thousands, thousands of requests. And so it's pretty much, they've already know the pricing because I'm going to respond to them with the pricing, the packaging. They already know what our work looks like. They already know they have to travel to see us. It's 2 appointments a couple of weeks apart following a virtual consultation. And we're either in budget, we're transparent. So 100%, they already
I like
know.
that you guys are so transparent too, because we say this to business owners too. Like, give them as much information as they need before because everybody needs a certain amount of information, right? They need to know how much something is going to cost. They need to essentially know that it's worth it, right? They need to be able to weigh the pros and cons. But if they don't have all that information, they can't weigh the pros and cons, so they can't move forward.
It's just going to be a waste of your time
Exactly.
to do an hour consult with somebody that you're not in their budget. They can't afford you. They don't know what financing. They already know all that before I even get on the phone with them. And I go over like what aesthetically we can do. Like I already know your candidate. Now let's talk about what we can do.
It's such a huge thing in services. Like we even have that on our type form.
so
We have like a broad like if you apply to work with us, there's a question that's like, this is the base. Can you afford to pay this base price? If not, maybe you should sign up for the newsletter or do something else. But just having that, because it is true, it's a waste of your time if they can't afford you, if they're not a good candidate, if whatever, like put all of that information because it only helps you.
And it's a waste of their time.
Yeah.
Because it's like, sometimes they're embarrassed. Like, oh, I didn't know it was that much. I can't afford it. Like,
Yeah.
Or they need 6 months to like, oh, I'm going to be getting, a settlement, or oh, I'm going to be getting this, or I'm getting a job, or I'm going to look into financing. I need to fix my credit. Like they can apply. I give them all the links, everything they need to like go through that process.
I was trying to convince a doctor today to do more virtual stuff, and that's a big thing too. The virtual process that Kelly has done is made it so much easier for those leads to, if you are out of state, a virtual. I mean, COVID pushed us into virtual, right?
Yeah, but it stayed.
It stayed, and it's working, and it's working, and it's, you can do so many more virtual consults than you can in-person consults.
Imagine if you had to do
In-person.
the in-person ones, like how much time that would take out of your day.
Yeah,
it's unnecessary.
It does. It does takes a lot more time, and it's people, like you said, people want to do things on the go, and people are busy.
Yeah, if it's not easy, they're not going to do it. Like, it's as simple as that, and that applies to literally every industry. If it's not easy, they will not do it. They're not going to set up an appointment. They're not going to buy your product. They're not, whatever it is you're selling, they're not going to do it.
They're not going to do it, because I mean, if you're not going to go do anything like your hair and stuff like that without not knowing like the base price of
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I want to switch over to talking about influencers, because you guys get so many leads. You work with a lot of influencers. Like, you probably, of all of our clients, work with the most influencers. And we try and convince everybody that influencers work, and people are still like, why would we use influencers? So also, to any social media managers, if you're trying to convince your boss to use influencers, listen to this part of the podcast, because this is what you need to share with them.
Oh my
Yes.
God, they work.
So when did you guys start working with influencers?
Like immediately.
Yeah?
Like immediately. I would say like within the first month.
First month.
She brought us one.
Yeah.
From someone she worked in a plastic surgeon office. So she brought us that one. We worked with her, and that was huge. And that's when we really were getting started on TikTok as well, too.
Yeah.
So it was really, and then we just saw that kind of worked. And
Yeah, I was gonna say, what did that first?
It just helped.
I was gonna
with,
say,
like, our
It just helped engagement. I mean, you just
Engagement,
see.
Well,
the
what did
engagement.
it look like? What did you guys ask for?
Oh,
Like,
so this
was
one,
it-
this
who
collab.
was it? Not who was it, but like, what was their following like? What did?
beauty.
She
was
had a
more
beauty page.
She was more beauty page. Like she
Okay.
was
She
very
had like
much just-
5 different beauty pages, like Rich Beauty Bitch, like all these different like beauty pages where she posts like beauty hacks, beauty anything, right?
Yeah.
So this is aesthetics that fit. It definitely fit us, and so the agreement was that she would get her. Did we do upper and lower?
We did upper and lower.
Upper and lower in exchange for one post every day for 1 year.
Which, you guys, let me be clear, that's not a normal agreement. Most people won't agree to that agreement.
She did more than that, though. She did. She reposted a lot of our videos, and then she had so many different
Pages,
and
yeah.
had millions of followers. So it was just, and that was all on Instagram. She really didn't do TikTok.
anything on
No,
TikTok.
because we really didn't. We were getting on TikTok, but it wasn't like we were. We're slowly like we were just filming. Whatever we filmed, we would put on TikTok, and we would like throw up some sounds with it. It wasn't as thought out, for
Right.
sure. And it didn't get good until like things started going viral.
Right.
And then it's like you get hyped. And then you start getting tons of influencers. Once things go
Yeah.
viral, everybody's like,
Everybody's,
"Hey,
I'm an
I see your
influencer."
work.
Hey, I noticed that you work with influencers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in working with me?
Well, let me send me your media kit. My what? Let me screenshot my insights, because I don't know what a media kit
Talk about
is.
that all the time. We talk about that all
Why we made media kits.
Oh my God.
literally.
Come on, girl.
That was a quick plug for the media kits. In case you guys didn't know, we sell 4 different templates for media kits. So
But
If
it's
you're an
huge, because I
influencer-
mean, say I'm an influencer and I'm 12 million followers, and I'm basically saying I want to do $30,000 worth of work for free.
right.
And then I send you screenshots of my insights.
Like,
Like,
that
why aren't you
doesn't mean
treating it
anything.
as a business? Like, I need to know what you're going to do for me, what your engagement
You're preaching
is.
to the choir over here.
No,
like-
it's the. It drives me insane.
It's a big
When I get
deal.
a good media kit, I'm just like,
They're in.
Sarah, oh my God, we have to work.
You're
with
like,
this
look at the
person."
media kit.
It's got pictures and videos on it. It's got clickable things. Like, I'm like,
Like, it's gorgeous. I'm like, if you guys want a media kit that looks like that, go to tj-creative.com/shop.
it's life
Very
changing.
true.
It just looks professional. Like, if you're gonna apply for a job, that's basically
Exactly. It's like a resume.
It's like a resume.
Yeah.
It's like a digital resume of your experience and what you're gonna bring
Yeah.
to us. Because you're not gonna be the right fit. Not everybody.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
going to be the right fit for me. Like, I run into a lot of like really like bikini models and like lingerie models, and I'm like 90% of the guys that follow are 20-year-old guys.
Right. That aren't going to.
It's not, they're not like going to go do their teeth. Like, women typically are the ones
Yeah.
that find the appointment for the boyfriend. I mean, we do get a lot of guys, but it's definitely usually
Yeah,
goes
we
through.
definitely choose based on audience. on who
So
we're gonna
I
work
did
with.
want to talk about how you choose them. So now you
Yeah.
said you get a lot of
lot.
influencers coming to you, but at the very beginning, how were you guys scouting out influencers? How were you
Doing
kind of
influencer
picking?
outreach for
Yeah.
sure. Just like I would just search and
Yeah.
find
On Instagram,
on
yeah?
Instagram. Search like ATX influencer, Austin influencer, Dallas influencer. Because at the time it would be like, I mean, the closer the better, just
Right.
because it would make it means they have a local following.
And a lot of the local ones we didn't realize were influencers because they didn't come in as a collab.
Yeah,
They'd
they
come in for a consult, and then they'd be like,
And then they would
"Oh,
tell you.
hey, you know, I have this small." Like
Following.
Anna, like
Yeah.
not Anna,
Amanda.
Amanda. Like Amanda, we didn't know that she was an influencer. She's been huge for our practice just because she has such a huge local following.
Yeah.
And it extends to she's so happy with her smile. It's like 3-4 years later, we're still
She's
getting.
still talking about it.
She's still a repost
Yeah.
anything. She's still like
for
just
photo
comes over
shoots.
and takes photos. Anything we want to do, she still like works out. And she paid. Like we just gave her a discount.
Yeah.
So that we do gauge on.
So that's kind of what
yeah.
we did. Because we did start to get so many influencers that were like, I want my teeth done. We kind of had to go back to the drawing board and
Yeah.
be like, how many can we afford a year? Because they think
Right.
of this as marketing dollars. Like Dr. Patel's going
Right.
to say, okay, so this is marketing.
Well, they always think they're like
Worth.
You know, they always think they're worth more than.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They all think
they
they're
all
worth
think they're
free.
bigger than they are. Some of them are, you know, but
Yeah.
but it's usually some of the really big ones are the most humble ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Like
why they made it.
like Armand. We didn't like he was
He was
huge
big for
he
us.
was the reason we went to a
Viral.
million on TikTok.
I actually had found that
From
video
that influencer.
where that video went viral and Dr. Patel was like, holds his phone out and it's just like,
It keeps going.
Follow-
Yeah.
Followers.
I mean, it was like
Yeah.
millions and millions and millions. You couldn't even keep up with the amount
How
of
did you
followers
guys
we're
find
getting.
him?
He just reached out.
he reached
Oh, he
out.
reached out.
He reached out. He
Yeah.
just DM'd. Like I just get random DMs, and then they're like, "Hey,"
And
you
we're
know,
like,
I'm
he's
this-
a rapper. I mean, what is he? R&B artist,
singer,
you
yeah.
know? And he's
Yeah.
super cute, and he had teeth that were like,
baby teeth.
Baby.
And he had braces on, so I took his braces off, and we did a video about that.
gosh.
So then that like triggers people that have braces on.
Yeah.
And it makes them like, "Oh, hey, I can take my braces off and get veneers." And
Yeah.
I
So
think
just-
that's another thing Kelly has been really good at is like finding parts within the process that might trigger or do well on social,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like obviously things that are satisfying,
Sure.
like the impression material,
The floss.
or the flossing, and those
Yeah.
types of things.
Just
You know what I
little
mean?
things. You guys have been a good example for us, even with other clients, in like really diving into the curiosity aspect of
Yeah.
it. Like dive into the fact that majority of your audience probably doesn't know what's going on here, but that's why they want to watch it because they have no idea what's
they have
going on.
it's
in
so
this video.
like regular for us every day, but it's so like they freak out. Like the impression
Yeah.
material, people started calling it buffalo sauce because it was orange, and like the floss.
Yeah, they're
people-
like, why
then
you
she-
dipping
so
their
then
teeth
Kelly
in
found
buffalo
a
sauce?
song that was like buffalo something.
Yeah.
Like, so we're doing this.
yeah, we're doing a buffalo sauce.
So
now.
we're gonna really lean into the buffalo sauce.
It's like, but the satisfying stuff.
Yeah.
like even the SMR, like
But
taking
it's
the impression
even like
out.
I like that you lean into that kind of stuff too, because we do have a lot of clients who, if they get one comment that's
Oh, the
not
Negative?
a little bit negative or isn't completely positive, they're like, I'm turning the comments off, and we're like, please, don't turn
I
the
just got
comments-
dragged. I went in. I don't answer TikTok a lot, but I was like, it was slow week. So I was on TikTok and I like did what the emoji with my hand over my face because somebody
Yeah.
said that the veneers that we were placing were like, oh, those are like press-on nails. Oh, they are not.
Kelly
And
went
so I was like, and then they were like, oh, he got in his feelings. Oh, you hurt the doctor's feelings because they think it's him.
Yeah.
And it's like literally like, I want to say there's like 300 comments under that.
But we
press-on
also
nail
are
thing.
like, keep them up. Keep
And I
'em
was
up.
like,
Yeah, it
okay.
gets people to keep.
But then you
commenting,
get
though.
some good people in there that'll
Yeah.
be like, see, it takes 8 years of school and this and that and all this training, and then I'll just
That are, like,
thumbs up.
fighting
Yeah,
for
they're
him.
fighting for
Yeah.
you, and then everyone else is like,
Somebody talked about that the other day on the podcast. Like
so crazy.
They go to TikTok not even for the videos, but for the comment section.
Yeah, we had a girl named Katie on the podcast, and she was saying that's what makes TikTok different than Instagram is the community aspect, in the sense of like, you're there for the videos, yeah, but like 9
comments.
times out of 10, you're also going to look at the comments because you want to see what other
Yeah.
people are saying about you. Kind of want to see like, does my reaction
Sure.
match everybody else's reaction?
The
Yeah.
comments are the best. Like that savage mom, that's all she
Yeah.
does is she's like, to the comments, and she'll do like a video and
Yeah.
go through and like
Just
read.
responding to the
The
comments.
comments are
But the
hilarious.
comments help the algorithm, so keep them up.
Yeah, so stop deleting your negative comments and stop turning the comments off.
I have never turned off comments.
Nope.
It drives me
ever.
nuts when people do
And
that.
we've had hate. Like when we did someone's teeth, like people with like different skin colors have different colored gums, and his gums were really dark. And people were like, oh, he doesn't brush his teeth, or oh, his gums are black. And Tara was like even getting nervous. And I'm like, I mean, you'll get the defenders in there. Just
Yeah.
let it roll.
Yeah.
Like all the trolls come out on TikTok. The TikTok
The-
comments are the worst.
I was gonna say there's a lot of trolls on TikTok, but
TikTok
there's
comments are
also
the
fun
worst.
people on TikTok.
They are.
I'm always like, Instagram's nice and like
But
our
boring.
pretty stuff, and we can like have a showcase. And TikToks, we just like it's
can do
F,
anything.
it's F-bombs and all that.
You
like
can do anything.
we don't
That's
care.
another thing
People
they do.
are, yeah,
They don't care about
Yeah.
cussing, and I
Yeah,
love it.
we had WAP on there. Like that was one of our big.
You're like, well, we're
Cardi
down
B.
for anything. We're down for anything.
if it's a sound, if it's a trending sound, and you can put a beat, it has a beat and some
and they'll
Yeah.
do it.
transitions, we're good.
they'll
And
do it.
people are like, it has to be clean. I was like, Tara had a client one time, and he was like, oh no, it has cursing and it has this in it. And I'm like, what?
You're
This
like-
song doesn't have cursing in it nowadays.
Literally, especially any
Literally.
song that's gonna go viral on TikTok. Like, you expect that
They
to be
have
a
a clean
version?
version.
Like, no.
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 Okay, I want to reel it back into the influencers.
Okay.
Tara, let's say you find an influencer, you're searching the hashtags. This is, again, before they start reaching out to you. How are you reaching out to these influencers?
You really want to know?
Yeah,
DM.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Tara,
I mean,
was
it sounds
big DM.
Yeah, big
Yeah,
DMer.
she
I mean,
did.
I'm just like, hey.
But what is that message? Yeah, what are you writing to them? What does that message look like?
Hey, this is Tara. I'm the social media manager for Dr. Tejas Patel, and we are looking to work with some influencers. I don't know if you've ever considered veneers, but if you would like to, please get back to me and we can talk about that process.
Yeah,
And
then
we've hit it big. We got Javaya that way.
We got Javaya that
But
way.
I was gonna say, where do you send them? Back to the DMs, or you send them to email, or you send them like,
You know,
here's Kelly's
people-
consultation link?
Oh yeah. So
Oh, the-
once they said like so Javaya said yes, I'm super interested. Then it's
Virtual
okay. Let's
consult.
take this to email. Let's get you scheduled for a virtual consult.
Yeah.
Kelly will do the consult, and that's kind of how it goes from there.
I know I shit on DMs a lot, like, but there are even me, like when brands DM me, if they have a check mark, I'm like, I get scammy emails all the time. So occasionally I'm not mad at a DM and then I send them to my email, but
Yeah.
like it kind of, you can validate a company a little bit easier.
I also feel like it gave me, and if they didn't ever reply to my DM, I'd reply. Follow your ass and comment on the bottom, be like, I sent you a DM.
Yeah.
I sent you a DM.
Hey, by the way,
I sent you a DM.
sent you a DM.
You know, like this is no joke.
Yeah.
I'm
But now
serious.
aren't they paying for the check marks?
I paid
Yeah.
for mine yesterday.
Oh,
see.
I was like,
but
I
I'm
just
just
wanna
saying,
try
like,
it.
I've gotten a lot of people that are like, social media managers. Hey, can we do your social, this and that? And they'll send us screenshots, and they have check marks.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can't trust that anymore.
Well,
That's so
I shouldn't even say check marks, but like you can tell if a business is scammy
Sure.
versus if it's like an actual.
Can we send
company.
you jewelry?
Oh,
Yeah,
all the
those
time.
companies. Can we send you jewelry, but you only get 25% off, and we need 7 posts from you? Is that okay? I'm like, your jewelry's $10.
That's a big thing with influencers is holding them to their content.
Yeah. Have you had an issue with that?
100%.
Yeah.
How do you hold them to their
1,000%.
contracts?
It's so hard. It really
We
is
have
hard.
agreements,
Yeah.
but it's
But how do you have them hold up their end of the bargain? Let's say you're giving them a free smile makeover. You say we need X amount of deliverables, and they
And I put a dollar amount on it. So like if they send me their deliverables, and then I'll be like, okay, it's like 16,000 if you're doing the uppers minus this. We're gonna get this many reels. This based on the
Right.
media kit that they sent me, and then I make Tarek hold them accountable.
yeah. So how do you hold them accountable? If you've noticed, like it's been maybe past whatever date you tell them, and nothing's gone live, they haven't sent anything to you. What are you saying to them?
It's those ones without those media kits.
it's the ones.
It's
that-
It's the ones that send the insights. Those
Yeah,
are the people.
those
that-
are the ones that don't.
The ones
follow
that
up.
treated it like businesses, like the TikTok families that we've had, have been like amazing. Like Aunt and Hannah, like they're like, I've got like sending me deadlines and things are going to launch
Yeah.
here, and then post this
Letting
at this
you know.
time.
Those
the
are the
YouTube.
best.
Here's the link to the YouTube that I did. Here's all this. Those
Yeah.
are the best.
Yeah,
for
those
sure.
are the best. But then I'll be like, hey, so we haven't seen any content, and they'll say, have you watched my stories? I have
Oh.
sick kids.
Oh yeah,
No, people are really.
the
Yeah.
You haven't been
it's-
keeping up with me every second
Yeah.
of every day. You're like, I have a fucking job. No, I haven't been. Keeping
No, I haven't
up
looked.
With you.
Yeah,
seriously.
So, I mean,
and sometimes they're the ones that have like less followers that are the worst ones to deal with.
I've noticed that as well.
Isn't
like
it
even
weird?
for other businesses, yeah, I've definitely noticed.
You're just
that.
like, okay,
it gets to their
Sally
head.
with 10,000 followers and
I'm like,
12 kids.
Literally, I'm rolling my eyes. I'm like, I have 10,000 followers. Shut up.
You're
Shut
just-
up.
Yeah. And then, or sometimes they don't realize that, like, we have 2.8 million followers
Yeah.
on TikTok. Like, we're an influencer at this point.
I was gonna
too.
say,
so
they're
it's a collab.
getting. I was
like,
gonna
you're
say.
getting something out of us.
They're getting
well.
something being posted by you guys. Like
a
they're
lot.
definitely getting exposure.
Like, if you're not posting, I promise you, I'm getting my end on our.
Yeah.
we're giving our
Yeah.
So have you had someone who just hasn't posted at all?
Shit.
Yeah.
We just had that one sentence that
So what do you do then? Because normally, like
I mean, you can't go and say, "Give me your teeth back."
Yeah, that's the thing. They're
Yeah.
teeth
How
are
do you?
done.
What do you do in that situation?
I mean, it's just a reputation thing, and we won't ever use you. And I mean, because I feel like with the influencers that we've used there, like if I feel like, wow, that was a great collaboration,
You'll bring them to.
I'll bring them to another client.
Yes.
Or if somebody was looking for an influencer, I'd say these
This is
five are
great,
really great.
right.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is now I have, like, I can reach out to influencers if they're in specific, like, if they're big on TikTok, I can be like, hey, do you know this influencer? Because they know each other. A lot of times they do things together.
It's
and
a
they'll
small
tell
world.
me. They'll tell me if I should use them or not.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we'll get as much as we can on our end, and we'll use as much of the content we had on our end.
Yeah,
Offices that don't do that, they're screwed.
I was gonna say I do feel like that's something you guys do well, and it's kind of a perk to being a service versus a product. But Tara, you go in almost every time there's an influencer, so you're getting your own content.
Yes, we capitalize
Do
on
you
that
put that in the contract?
that all the stuff that we film will be used and that we have access to all of it.
Yeah.
The only ones I usually do is if they have a lot of issues going on in their smiles. Like we did some that were like not just veneers, but they were like had like root canals and extractions, and so I don't want to get hate on online. So there's stuff I'll typically say, hey, let's cut that out and just show the pretty stuff.
Yeah.
Versus like the nitty gritty, because some of those ones, you know, they're sensitive to like people are going to hate on them.
Yeah.
Like, how did you let your mouth get that bad? Or that you're.
I did a dentist that I got so many comments like that. Like, that's disgusting. Like, how I'm like, don't make them feel bad.
That's the
so
same one
like-
that's going viral right now. She has fluorosis, so she's like has permanent scarring on her teeth, and everyone's like, "How about you just brush your teeth?" And I'm
Yeah.
just like, "You can't brush that off."
And
like
there
she's
was
born that way.
I had a guy that was like, they did his smile, and he, I think, was like some sort of drugs, like that's. But he was clean now, and it was like I thought it was such a nice story. I was like, okay, like good for you. You cleaned up your life, like, and this is like now you can show it with your. In the comments are like, oh my god, how could you ever like?
Yeah.
I'm like, can you focus on the positive? Can you focus on the fact that he's clean now?
Yeah.
Like, let's focus on that.
Or medications like dry mouth medications,
Yeah.
like lupus and stuff like that. That causes so much damage to it. Meth mouth, all that stuff. That's what it's called. Like it's rampant decay in your mouth or bottle rot when you were young. There's stuff that causes that. It's not all just I didn't brush my teeth.
Yeah.
So you are kind of protecting the.
I do try to
clients
be
in that.
protective, or I just really try to be like, "Are you sure you want to share everything?"
Right. Kind of okay it.
I want to okay those things for sure.
So-
but the social media they're mean.
Yeah, they're mean.
Mostly on TikTok.
But I do see doctors that say that. They're like, if you do any hate things, these are actual patients, we will delete it.
Yeah.
We don't post that. But I do see doctors
Yeah,
post
I
that
mean,
a
I
lot.
don't blame them. They are. I mean, yeah, you don't want your patient to feel bad about themselves.
Yeah.
So when you guys are working with a client, you're sending out this contract. What deliverables are you typically asking for? Because I'm sure you've kind of asked for everything at this point now, like a post,
ask
a reel, a
everything.
story.
We go hard.
But what have you noticed like works the best? Is there one type of deliverable that you think gets you the biggest return?
I just think. Oh shoot.
No, I really think it's when they're getting comments. They get comments on, "Oh my God, you did your smile," and they're being receptive, being like, "Oh yeah, Dr. Tejas Patel, that works well." And it actually on TikTok, it's just about like it was the right timing.
Yeah.
It was the right like
I think
combination.
YouTube, like the long form ones, have really turned out well.
You know
too.
why though? Because they last longer.
Yeah, they last longer.
Like it could be a video that went up 4 months ago, and you might still get clients or leads from that video versus like a TikTok that went up 4 months ago. You're probably not.
Yeah, that's what we're working on now. We're working on trying to I'm working on with not my social media guy, my Google guy. He's working on trying to get our videos to like when someone searches on Google like veneer process or smile makeover, that my YouTube videos will come up more in the algorithm.
But also the influencers that do the full share the process on long form.
Do you have influencers that kind of go above and beyond? Like you ask for
funny.
5 stories and they like consistently post every time they're there.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Usually it's when they're happy. They're happy and
then they're happy to share about
they're
it.
happy to share about it, and they had such a great experience. Like we're really pretty like down to earth.
Some,
and stuff like that.
yeah, no, I'll give them this too. Like some people, some of our other clients, like when an influencer comes, they're almost like don't want to give them like, oh, you know what I mean, like credit. And these guys are like, show up with a water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Do you need anything?
do you need
Yeah,
anything?
yeah.
Can I?
Roll out
You know
the
what I
red-
mean?
I did have-
I mean, I've ordered lunch, like all
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
like,
you know what I
all
mean?
that stuff.
It's the whole experience. I had another client too that anytime I would tell her, I'm like, hey, you have an influencer coming in this time. She's like, I'm gonna let the team know, like roll out the red carpet. Like we need to have it be a good experience, because this was a client too that like the service you would come in every like 3 weeks. So it was, you know, if you keep an influencer on, like maybe you give them the first one free and then you keep them coming and then they keep posting about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's worth kind of putting them on a pedestal to get more. I mean, it only benefits you
Because all
essentially.
they do is praise your experience. They're just
Exactly.
gonna
It makes
praise
your reputation look better.
And then really like sharing the experience. Then they're starting to talk about the team when they're doing reviews or how it went. And then people really feel like they already know us when they come in, because they're like, oh, it was so easy of a process with Kelly. And then I went through this, and they'll literally like show taking the impressions from start to finish. They want to like document every single, like comment with a tripod, you know, you know, they're going to be good when they're like setting it up before I take the impressions.
They're ready.
Yeah, they're ready. And then it's like, it just flows. I think. And then they really like, to this day, I can like post something and they'll reshare it.
What platform do you think has like led the most leads for you guys?
So I would say like always TikTok, but TikTok's kind of like you hit like a plateau kind of. I feel like
she's got the numbers printed. Everybody, we have.
She did.
We have the proof.
We have proof.
So this was like until December of last year. We only got 45. We don't really do anything on Facebook except repost like our Instagram stuff and our stories.
I'm like, to be fair, we don't do anything.
So 45 leads came from Facebook.
Pretty good for not using Facebook, though.
Right?
Not using Facebook, just turning that little share to
thing.
Facebook
Share to
on.
Facebook.
Oh, not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad for no effort.
But I'm really being picky and trying to do as many reels as we can on Facebook, because it's really taking off. Like people are actually really watching reels on Facebook. But 1,299 came from Instagram. Is that me?
I'm like, who is it?
That is not me.
I was like, wasn't me. I have my work phone.
I don't even have it on. 12,099 came from Instagram. 1,380 TikTok. 131 word of mouth, so like local probably people, and then 985 came from influencers.
985.
And the ones we thought weren't the best was the one that we like. The one we were like, that was kind of a dud. He had the most people.
That's so funny.
It was so crazy when I showed the statistics to Dr.
Where
Patel.
did he? What were his deliverables? Do you remember? Like what he was posting on?
He was a Facebook guy.
Oh, he's a huge Facebook guy.
Interesting.
Facebook. He had YouTube. We did him and his wife.
Interesting.
And so they had the same, like they're like Mr. and Mrs. and had the same last name.
Okay.
So a lot of them just put the last name. So it could have been between both of them.
Yeah.
But it still was like, out of all of them, we thought like other ones would have been bigger. And like I got the most leads from them.
That's interesting.
It's crazy. You never know. You literally never know. Because we didn't know with Armand either.
Exactly. That's the thing, is like you have to pick based off of, are they going to be a good fit for like, is their audience going to also mesh with like your clientele? But that's really as far as you can. I mean, if they have good engagement, obviously, but like you could have someone that you think is going to be amazing and it might just like not work out.
100%.
You know,
it does happen.
It happens.
You do take some losses, but I feel like it still outweighs.
Exactly.
And I know how much
Google.
Google. I know how much SEO is.
Yeah.
And I know how much we used to spend in SEO. So I know like I have like parameters on who I'm going to do zero cost, who I'm going to give a certain percentage to.
So that's what I was going to ask. How do you determine like who you're going to give an entire smile makeover to versus like we're going to give you 10%?
Tara and I, we like sit in the corner and we're like, okay, this one's good. This one's good. They're going to do this for us. Like right now, I feel like that face to face and get ready with me is really big. So we have this really cute girl. It's like almost like a triple threat, because she went to Mexico, which is huge to go to a different country and get stuff done, because everyone wants to go get something done for cheap.
Yeah.
And it's not always the best.
Was it botched?
So,
It was botched.
well, all her veneers fell off.
Oh.
And then we saw it on TikTok, and then she just randomly DM'd us because no one will touch her, and she's in Texas.
You're like, we got it.
And she's in Texas.
We got it.
She was in Texas. She's a huge makeup thing. She's friends with Michaela. She's like literally like it's like
huge.
ching ching ching. Like she's got brands with like Maybelline and CoverGirl and stuff that she's working with. And she's posting like, I'm looking for a dentist. No one's going to touch me. I can't go back to Mexico. All my veneers are falling off.
You're like,
because of the cartel stuff that's going on now.
Yeah.
She's
God.
scared.
Literally.
Yeah.
So she was like, I can't find anyone to help me. And it just happened to be, I saw her like DM us on Instagram, and then I went and watched her TikToks, and I was like, comment on this. Let's do a green screen. Let's tell her come see us. We're going to hook
that
you
video
up.
will be coming today.
Yes.
Gorgeous.
We're going to post it today. And
so
then,
when you do decide, like, is it based off of follower count, or is it just like they have a good engaged following, they would be a good
No, I think
fit?
we do. Like, we
mean,
have
she
the
has good
mega,
followers, but
micro,
not-
and macro, right? Like, so the basic, if you are in
Yeah.
this, you know, those parameters, what that means. And then it's basically like, if they're mega, we more than likely will do it straight across.
Yeah.
And then each step down, you're going to get maybe 20% off. Yeah.
like our first mega, it was hilarious. I was like, so what are we going to do? Like, when am I going to discount her? And Tara and I were going back and forth, and then Tara did her search, and she charged $45,000
for one post.
for one post. And I was like,
I hear these numbers sometimes, and I'm like, what am
I was like,
doing?
how am
I'm
I
in
going
the
to
wrong.
charge her anything? We're only 32,000.
Yeah, you're like-
I was like, we're going to owe her money.
We're going to owe her money,
Literally.
basically.
Yeah, what did you guys
We
do?
just did it for free.
We just did it for free, yeah. Because there are calculators out there. I don't know if you guys know this secret, but you can put their social handle in, and it will give you
Like
what
how
they
much
could
you should charge.
what they could charge.
Yeah.
Or what they
Also,
should charge.
like Tara and I have talked about, it's important to, when they give you your media kit, try and match it as much as you can, right?
crossover, yes.
Yeah.
Collab.
But I do think in that situation where she might be charging more,
Yeah.
but like maybe she just really wanted veneers, like you can kind of get away
Sure.
with if it's something, even like if you have a product, right, and it's a product, like there's sometimes I don't really take gifting collabs at all anymore.
Yeah. Mhm.
But if it's a brand that emails me that I'm like, I was gonna buy your shit anyway.
Yeah.
Like I'll do,
Like
you know
were
what I
gonna-
mean?
You were already in the market.
Yeah, I was
Like, you-
already going to buy
like,
that.
yeah.
So I'd rather just get it for free. So I think there's a little bit of a
Like surgery. Like if you do a surgery, you're charging them for like the surgery center, because that's something you're going to have to come out of pocket for.
Yeah.
But then you can like discount the doctor's time, you know, like
Yeah.
lab fees with us. Like it
we do
costs us-
a lot of lab
A lot
fees.
of lab fees. A lot of times we just do lab fees. With her, I just was like thinking how much content I get and how feel good stuff is really big on TikTok now.
Yeah.
Like everyone loves Keith Lee, and everyone loves that he's like, you know, has his glow up right now, and then all the makeup is just huge, and
So
people's
it is
experience-
important, like even if you are not doing social media, like even if you're not making the content, staying on top of the trends, even in
100%.
terms of influencers, because especially on TikTok, like these influencers like come and go so fast. And I don't want to say come and go because I'm sure
But
they
no
still
one's
have
dancing
decent,
anymore, really.
Exactly.
You know what I
like
mean?
The trends,
Like, it's changed.
Like you said, the Get Ready With Me is huge now, but that
huge.
wasn't huge 2 years ago. So you
No.
wouldn't have maybe worked with someone who did Get Ready With
Yeah.
Me as you were working with.
But the thing is, like, we worked with Brooke and Marco, and she did a Get Ready With Me before, and I'm like, oh, now we can repost that.
Yeah,
'Cause-
you're like-
so like it's 2 years later. She did a whole
brand,
Get
it's
Ready
perfect.
with like
Yeah.
2 of them when she was going through her veneer process.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm like you can still like batch that
And people-
repurpose your content.
Businesses, I want you to remember too, like it's marketing dollars, but use this to capitalize and get the content for yourself. Like
Yeah.
this is content that you can use
We were
forever
talking
on all things.
Like even if
yesterday.
they don't deliver, you should have.
you should
Yeah.
be
have
delivering.
your.
So we had, which is why I like that you put that in the contract. So business owners, influencer marketing people, always put that in your contract because
you don't want Larry calling you. Later
I was gonna
saying,
say
hey, you can't repost that. You can't.
I had one client that said I couldn't.
we had
her
a,
lawyer
We had a
said-
nightmare one.
Her lawyer involved said that I could not cross post. So if I posted on TikTok, I couldn't post that same piece of content on.
I got an email that was like not cross post, but an email that was like it was not in my contract that you could put this on Instagram, and I was like,
What?
and that's on me.
Yeah.
I didn't put it in the contract, I guess.
But now we know.
But yeah, so make sure to put it in the contract. But we were talking to an influencer yesterday, and it really is like, obviously, I think a lot of people think of influencer marketing as their influencer,
Yes.
right? You're getting your service, your product, your business in front of their audience. That's the influence. But there's also that evergreen content that, like you said, this influencer that you used how long ago? Like a year ago,
No, almost-
2 years
almost
ago.
3. It's like 2.5, 3 years ago.
You can
she was doing stuff that
You can still use that content. You know what I mean? You repost it. And I hate to say it, but you're kind of just like jumping on the back of someone who has
Yeah.
these followers because you have the content. You have the right to use this content. This content. So
Forever and ever.
that's equally as
Well, and I like to take
Important.
things and do like, even if we had several of them and we could do like a mashup of those influencers that we've done Smile, like a whole bunch of their Get Readies
Yeah.
like, in a TikTok. And,
Like serious.
and then people might see it and be like, "Oh my god, I know that
Yeah.
person." Like that's crazy. I didn't
and
know
they'll
they went
usually
there.
reach out to them and say, hey, I saw you got your veneers done with there. How was your
Yeah,
experience? And
Yeah.
so that's why you want to have the experience to be like seamless and perfect.
People always want to know what the secret to Dr. Patel was and its influencers, and that's all I have to say. So if you really want to be Dr. Patel, then you got to do influencers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just got to post.
And you got to have a Kelly on your staff.
And also, please just trust your social media managers. Like, that's, I think, one of the biggest things with you guys.
It's easy to take shit down. If she's put something up I don't want, I can be like, hey, take that down, take that down.
Yeah,
like,
hey, I
there's
don't love
times
that.
someone goes up that isn't supposed to go up, and it's easy to take them
Yeah.
down.
But, like, I think, at the end of the day, like, you guys trusted what Tara said because you were like, she knows what she's doing. She's been in this industry. And that's, like, we say this, I can drill this into people's brain.
Yeah.
That's what's going to make your social media work is if you trust your social media manager, you hired them for a reason, they're the expert. Just trust if they say you should do some influencers, listen to them. Do some influencers.
Yeah. But I think they still need to be involved in like the process because sometimes they're just like expect you to do everything and you
That's
don't
the other
know.
thing. That's the
you don't know dentistry. You don't know.
You don't know. You don't know anything about
like
it.
you still have to like guide them and be educating to them, or it's not going to work, and not just be totally.
That's why that
hands-off.
relationship is so important, and really what's going to make or break.
Like they're part of your staff. You have to like treat them like they're a part of your team, or it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not going to work if you're just like, oh, that girl's coming in today to film.
Yeah. Literally. Oh my God, roll my eyes. Like I don't want to be on camera.
story of our lives.
Well, I loved this. I love that we really took a deep dive into influencer marketing. Kelly, thank you so much for being on.
Yes.
Where can everybody find you?
They can find me at Tejas Patel DDS on Instagram.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
Tejas Patel DDS on Instagram and Dr. Tejas Patel on TikTok and Dr. Tejas
AustinCosmetic.com
on YouTube.
But I mean, you click the link in my bio and everything's in there on Instagram and on TikTok. And
You'll see Kelly's face all over the TikTok. You'll see her all over the Instagram. You'll know her.
Yeah. You'll know all of us. Carmen, we're a small team.
Yeah.
You'll know us all. Carmen, Julie, Dr. Patel. It's just us four.
Just you four.
And Tara.
And Tara. You five.
And Tara.
Gorgeous. Well, thank you so much, Kelly. I loved this.
I loved it too. Thank you so much.